It's hard to imagine the internet today without YouTube, which has become a popular source of information and entertainment. While videos about mysteries are pretty popular, the YouTube mysteries themselves are less common. But as with everything on the internet, we only see a small slice of what's really going on. And without the rest of the story behind some videos and channels, there are plenty of mysteries. Number 1. Nicholas Sonderegger was a dancer with a small following on YouTube when he vanished in September of 2018. Nick was probably best known for his cameo appearances on the much more popular YouTube channel Explore With Us. He lived in Salton City, a relatively shady and run-down town with plenty of abandoned buildings for the Explore With Us crew to film, and Nick was happy to show them around in more than one video. Nick was living with a man named Austin at the time of the disappearance. According to some sources, Austin and Nick were joined at the hip and both worked with Nick's uncle. In the early hours of the 12th of September 2018, the pair came home and were getting ready to go to bed when they heard what sounded like a woman screaming. Nick wanted to go and see what was going on, but Austin thought it was better to leave it alone. After a short debate, they decided to leave it be, given how dangerous the town was. Austin went to bed, but when he woke up, he discovered Nick was missing. He assumed his friend had gone to investigate the screaming after all, and went out to search for him. Austin eventually contacted police when he couldn't find his friend, and informed Nick's family that he was missing. A number of Nick's personal belongings were found, including his wallet, at least one of his boots, and his knife's sheath, though the knife itself has not been found. As he was the last person to see Nick, Austin has fallen under a lot of suspicion. People have found it hard to believe that he could just fall asleep given what they heard. As he was the only person to witness the conversation, some have even doubted the screaming occurred at all. It does seem strange that nobody else has come forward to report hearing the screaming, especially seeing as the woman had sounded like she was some distance from Nick and Austin, and they were likely people closer to the source of the noise than they were. Austin was apparently taken in by Nick's family after his friend's disappearance, and the uncle either bought or helped Austin buy his own truck. The uncle also roused suspicion. He had a criminal record and had been imprisoned for assault, though beyond this there doesn't seem to be much evidence to go with the theory. The Explore With Us channel conducted a small investigation. According to them, Austin stopped responding to their messages after they mentioned the uncle's criminal record. This only added to some people's belief that Austin was guilty. However, the channel was also ghosted by Nick's cousin, who corrected some mistakes the channel made, then stopped responding. So it could just be that those close to Nick didn't want to interact with them for whatever reason. Whatever the case, Nick remains missing. There is a substantial reward for information regarding his disappearance, but so far, nobody has come forward. Number 2. Social media has made it easier than ever for fans to connect with their favorite celebrities. And with more and more information being shared online, it can be easy for fans to convince themselves that they actually know the celebrities they're following. Unfortunately, this can have a very negative consequence when stalkers take things too far. That was the case with Elena Cohen, who vanished from the internet in 2014 after gaining the attention of one obsessive fan. Elena was a singer-songwriter who began posting to YouTube some years earlier. She was very talented and gained around 10,000 followers, but was yet to make the jump from the internet into the charts as some other artists had done around the same time. The songs were mostly covers, but she also wrote and performed some of her own songs. Elena's channel peaked towards the end of 2011, but then she suddenly stopped posting. What had been a regular posting schedule turned into a handful of videos over the next few years, and then in 2014, she made all but one of her videos private. At the same time, Elena's name and the name of her YouTube channel had been appearing on several forums, but it wasn't Elena promoting her own music. An obsessed fan had mentioned Elena in several posts. He claimed to be a music producer and had reached out to her to collaborate. According to the poster, he'd worked as her promoter and somewhat of an agent, advising her on whether she should sign contracts or not. In another post, he claimed he was involved in a lawsuit against Elena and wanted to find information about her from a variety of sources. It was clear he wasn't just someone trying to make a fan page, but wanted to reach Elena, who he referred to as an unknown artist in real life. The stalker would claim Elena was part of a conspiracy which also involved other popular singers, including Taylor Swift. In 2012, he was arrested for what seems to have been breaking a restraining order Elena had put in place, and even his own mother had in his eyes turned against him. While he was imprisoned, his doctors tried to get him the mental help that he needed, but he refused to take medication, and when Elena posted a new song in 2014, the stalker was back again. After another bout of conspiracy theory posts, Elena removed herself from the internet for good. This was when she made all of her videos private and deleted her social media accounts. Since then, there have been no updates from Elena, though she recently made some of her videos public again, suggesting she is safe and well. What happened to Elena's stalker remains a mystery, as he has also stopped posting. Number 3. Whether or not YouTube should be classified as a social media platform depends on who you ask, but it's safe to say it's not the first site people think of when they want to reconnect with old friends. Most people would be pretty suspicious if someone left a comment on their video saying they were an old friend asking to reconnect, but allegedly, hundreds of people fell victim to a scheme that started just like this. The story goes that a YouTube account going by the name Tom Edgington would leave a comment on the community page of accounts with no videos. These accounts were only used on YouTube as a viewer. Their only activity was commenting on videos. Tom's message would claim that they'd been friends in elementary school and use the username's real name if it wasn't included anywhere on their profile. Tom would also leave a phone number for them to reach out to get in touch. If the victim called the number, they would be greeted by the recording of what sounds like a number station. After that, the victim's phone would be bombarded with calls, hundreds every minute, from a variety of phone numbers. The victims would have to change their number in order to get the calls to stop. Allegedly, hundreds of people in California were victims of this harassment. The story supposedly appeared on 4chan when a user got in touch with Tom Edgington's first victim and acquired a recording of the number station message. He also contacted the number himself using an app to give himself a temporary phone number. As had been the case with the other victims, the number was bombarded with calls. The 4chan user answered one of the calls and was greeted with the distorted recording of the buzzer, a creepy recording that's popular in the unsolved mysteries community. Either using the number station from the original call or by tracing the calls, amateur investigators supposedly figured out where the calls were coming from. One Reddit user visited the location, a relatively isolated mountainous area in California, and found a bag of old, smashed phones. There are some doubts about how authentic this mystery really is. The person that supposedly uncovered the mystery is known to have created a number of mysteries to create content in the past, and information about the supposed spam calls is limited. Number 2. Earlier this year, a strange YouTube channel that had apparently uploaded a string of videos in 2017 gathered attention. The channel creator apparently had some ability to see into the future and had predicted the deaths of more than 250 celebrities. The videos were all short clips, just a few seconds long, which featured the graphic of an eye blinking and the name of the celebrity beneath. Between the blinks, a date would be shown. In each case, the date matched up with the date that the celebrity in question died. The list of celebrities included those that died from natural causes and those who passed away in freak accidents. even guessing the year these celebrities would pass away would be impossible. So a channel that had apparently done this hundreds of times in 2017 seemed incredible. Of course, it didn't take long for people to figure out how this was done. It wasn't some world government taking out celebrities, but editing trickery. All the videos were actually cut down from much longer videos. The original videos were unlisted, meaning only people with a link directly to the video would have access to them, and would include graphics for every date, month, and year the project would cover. When the celebrities passed away, the channel creator would cut down the video so only the relevant date was displayed, and at the start of 2021, made all of these videos public. That way, they still displayed the publication date of 2017, even though they had been edited since then. What did remain a mystery for quite some time was who was behind the channel, and why they'd done something which would be extremely time-consuming and wouldn't pay off for 4 years. A Discord server popped up not long after the videos were made public, and the channel creator, or someone acting as them, was active. The server kickstarted an ARG, or alternate reality game, where players solved various puzzles and a story about a global cult. Finally, earlier this month, the players solved the final puzzle, which led them to an archive of all the unedited videos. The channel creator put out a final video revealing himself to be a filmmaker and artist named Kai, and explained his project. The mystery has now been solved, and while it was all just fun, it does highlight the fact that creators can go back and edit past videos without their actions being noticed by anyone who stumbles across the video later on. Number 1. The 2010 Smolinski Air Disaster was a national tragedy in Poland, and one of the most significant plane crashes to have occurred in Europe since the Cold War. Polish President Lech Kaczynski, his wife, and a number of top government officials were aboard the plane, traveling to Russia for a commemoration of the 22,000 Polish military officers that were taken out by the Soviets in World War II. Everybody aboard the plane lost their lives in the disaster, a total of 96 victims, which included politicians, military leaders, and the plane's crew. The disaster occurred over Russian soil, near the military field of Smolinski. According to official reports, there was a thick fog over the airfield at the time of the disaster. The pilot was forced to multitask between landing the plane and communicating with the control tower. The airfield also lacked modern landing aids, as this all worked together to cause the pilot to misjudge the landing. The left wing of the plane clipped a tree, triggering the crash into a nearby forest. It was a simple human error. Reports from the Russian investigation team and official Polish report came to the same conclusion, though there were some differences in the two reports. However, not everyone in Poland agreed with these findings. Lech Kaczynski's twin brother and the party he'd represented both pushed for another report. There were definitely some oddities in the way the disaster was handled. The wreckage from the plane is yet to be returned to Poland. The victims were returned to Poland in sealed coffins, but many were placed in the wrong coffin, and even the president had the remains of 2 other people with him in his casket. Conspiracy theories that the disaster had been an assassination attempt began to develop. They weren't fringe beliefs either, but up to a quarter of the population of Poland believes the crash was deliberate, even 10 years after the incident. So when a video of the immediate aftermath of the crash appeared on YouTube just 48 hours later, it captured the attention of security agents in Poland. The video is 1 minute and 24 seconds long, and it appears to have been recorded on a cell phone. 2 men get close to the wreckage while a friend hangs back. A loud siren-like noise is heard, and then 3 distinct snapping sounds, which some claim sound like gunfire. Investigators said the background noise and distortion made it impossible to say whether this was true or not. Who recorded the video has been something of a mystery. According to military investigators, the original uploader went by the name Rastich or Rastish, and they linked him to a Twitter user named Jura Budnik. Polish media reported the cameraman was a mechanic named Vladimir Ivanov who worked near the site. The video also calls into question the official timeline, with response times given in the official report not matching what appears to be the case in the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up to date with all of our future uploads. But I've been Ty Knotts, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.